Welcome to another Crypto by Nature news bit. How is everybody doing out there in the land of crypto? Today in the news, we will be going over blockchain adoption. We have an article that I'm going to go over from the CIO, which is Chief Information Officers, and it's basically from the Wall Street Journal. It's a meeting they're having, and it's a group of the largest and best companies around the world who have chief information officers and tech experts, and they are going to go over exactly that, blockchain adoption. In this video we're going to hit now, it's basically a video from Donald Tapscott. He's an executive chairman from the Blockchain Research Institute, and he's interviewed here on Bloomberg Market, and they're basically going over blockchain and its adoption into society. I mean, guys, we've gone a long way from 2009 with Satoshi just releasing blockchain to the world on a forum, all the way to here today. It's almost 10 years. And blockchain, we have Facebook making a coin. They're making a blockchain division. We have the JPM coin, JP Morgan, the banks, first bank even to bend to this, because we know the banks are definitely opposition to crypto. They always have been. Supposedly JP Morgan has over 500 banks signed up for the JPM coin, so they're doing big things. And so we have a fair amount of adoption into society within 10 years. Some of the opposition, like I said, were the banks, the feds. We have the SEC clamoring down on crypto. You see what they did to the ICO markets out there. So that is the opposition side to it. But let's get into this interview, guys, and let's see what Donald Tapscott has to say.
Right about in your book, Blockchain Revolution is about the potential for this. Why isn't it moving? Why don't we see faster pace towards that potential? Because we have yet to see real blockchain solutions that you can really buy into or touch and feel.
Well, next week in Toronto, we have this big event called Blockchain Revolution Global, where executives, 1,000 of them, are coming from countries all around the world. And they will be discussing all kinds of actual implementations of blockchain. This is just not known, and it's a myth that this is technology that's not scaling and it's not being used for anything important.
So there you have it, guys. Tapscott talking about Blockchain Revolution Global, a meeting of over 1,000 people, all heads, coming to Toronto just to discuss blockchain adoption and how we're going to implement it into society. Guys, things are happening in crypto. I mean, all you have to do is pay attention to the clues. These are things that I don't know if it's getting too much big media. I know it's on Bloomberg, but is it on, the big four like Fox and NBC and CNN and so on and so forth? I don't see this kind of stuff on there. Let's get into the next part of the interview, where she asked him about Bitcoin wallets and exchanges that are being hacked and the issues we're having with that in the space, and also how that's going to affect blockchain in the future for adoption. All right, let's see what he says.
Donald, blockchain, of course, shifts some of the trust from people and institutions to technology, but then you get hacked when it comes to Bitcoin exchanges, Bitcoin wallets. So how do you bridge that gap and address the fact that not everything can be solved by technology alone?
Well, I think few things can be solved by technology alone. It's humans that solve these problems. You think about Quadriga and the fiasco there, where people lost $250 million. But the problem wasn't the technology. The problem, because blockchains are much harder to hack than the traditional systems that we have today in our banks and governments and other institutions. The problem was bad governance. You had a centralized model where one person had control, and that just doesn't, that kind of thing doesn't happen. But if you look more broadly, what's happening in the economy is quite extraordinary. The $50 trillion supply chain industry is moving to blockchain. At this event next week, Richard Smith, who's the CEO of FedEx Logistics, will be discussing how FedEx is going to rebuild its whole logistics business on this technology. And that's one of 15 different industries where really big things are happening.
I mean, so there it goes, guys. You have, he just said, the head of FedEx going to be at that meeting in Toronto to discuss how they are going to implement blockchain into their systems. This is what's going on. Also, guys, all the over-the-counter buying that's going on. I mean, really, when you really do your research, it is essentially a bull market, regardless of what the price says. So that is that meeting in Toronto. Now let's get into the Wall Street Journal Chief Information Officer, the meeting I was telling you about. That they call it the CIO, and it's just like I said, same thing with this, a bunch of tech experts and information officers, and they're also going to discuss a lot of the same thing. Let's go ahead and see what that article says. And here is the article on Cointelegraph.com, written by Anna Alexandre. Wall Street Journal CIO Network, blockchain adoption is still early. Let's get into this article. Experts and industry players have said that adoption of blockchain technology is still in its early stages at the annual meeting of the Wall Street Journal CIO Network. The regular Wall Street Journal CIO Network is a membership exclusively for chief information officers and technology experts from the largest companies around the world. The event gathered a range of experts from startups, large corporations, and governments to share their views on development of enterprise technology. Although enterprise blockchain technology has found its practical use, its new applications are not large-scale, according to Christine Moy, who is the executive director and head of Blockchain Center of Excellence at JP Morgan Chase Banker. She added, however, that these incremental use cases will evolve into something larger, so she is bullish. Bridget Van Kralingen, Senior Vice President of Global Industry Platforms for IBM's blockchain division, reportedly suggested that blockchain will eventually have more use cases, businesses, and will specifically streamline document flow and establish authenticity. Van Kralingen reportedly stated, "I think we see pull, but it's very early days." So, you know, as far as blockchain adoption, from what they're saying, from the CIOs, we're real early here, guys, even though it's been out for a long time. Honestly, I believe if there wasn't so much pushback, I honestly believe we'd be way farther along with adoption of blockchain into society. But it's not a if, it's a when, guys, at this point, in my opinion. It is definitely a when. I'm very bullish on blockchain adoption. I can't see it not happening. So that will be the video for today, guys. Please support the channel. Please subscribe. Please like. Please get in the comment section down below and tell me what your opinions are. Today, Bitcoin at $5,242 at the current moment. What do you guys think we're going? You think we're going down? Do you think we're going up? Let us know, and I'll definitely respond. I'll try to read any comments that are published. Okay, guys, Crypto by Nature, I'm out.